Hey guys, I am currently studying right now for my metabolic test out for the metabolic testing that we do at Lifetime. It's super cool that we offer something like this because a lot of gyms don't have something like this. Um, Basically, we are telling you in these tests what your VO2 peak is, what your resting metabolic rate is, and providing you ways to use these things to increase burning fat more efficiently, increase our cardiovascular and aerobic fitness, and also give you a more structured plan on how to do your cardio, how to take care of your nutrition, knowing how much you need to eat, and all of that. And the reason I decided this was a good time to record a short video is because of the things that have been going around with the Open being this week, and the post that was put up by Ben Bergeron. And a lot of people who, if you follow me at all, you've seen me post about it. You might have seen other people post about it if you follow Ben Bergeron or if you follow some big names in the CrossFit world. A lot of people have posted on like their stories or made an actual full post on it. And I just think it's something that needs to be addressed from someone who's in the fitness industry, but not necessarily in the fitness industry in the sense of being a performance-only coach of elite athletes, because this is where this post kind of went wrong, in my opinion. And again, this is my opinion, not anybody else's, but where I think that there should have been some clarification on this. So if you are a CrossFit athlete who is competing in the Open, or who is just maybe going to do some of the Open workouts, or follows along with the CrossFit world, anything along those lines, and you saw this post and thought, like maybe this is something that I should be thinking about, I want you to take a second and listen to this video and just understand where he was coming from, how it applies to you and how it doesn't apply to you as an athlete, and what maybe the next steps would be following it. So, for those of you that don't know, Ben Bergeron posted he posted on his Instagram, he made a post talking about how if you are wanting to be at your most competitive for the Open in order to be a competitive athlete at regionals or at the CrossFit Games this year, that you needed to be focusing on your body composition being at a certain percentage, body fat wise. Meaning that for men, he said, need to be at 11% body fat or lower, and for women at 16% or lower. If not, he said that you should be focusing not on fueling your workouts, but on losing body fat. He said you gotta lose body fat, and that's what you should be focusing on. Now, this is what I think about this post. The timing of this post was super poor. This time of year, for those in the CrossFit world, the Open is maybe the one time of the year that kind of feels like Christmas, but also feels like this is what you're prepping for and why you're doing CrossFit all year round. Not for everybody, but for a lot of us, the Open is a time that we test our abilities and see how we've done from year to year. What have we improved on? What new skills have we perfected or improved on? What loads we're able to do that we weren't able to do before. So these workouts are released once a week for 5 weeks. Most people do these workouts not just once, but twice, maybe 3 times to test them and try to get the best score possible because their scores are put on a national leaderboard. This is a super cool time of year. It's a super cool event because of that. So you get to see how you stack up against other people all around the world. You compete in your home gym. Most gyms make it a really fun thing with a Friday Night Lights, or they make an event out of it, and people bring food, create teams. It becomes a way to push yourself and make fitness more of a competition versus just working out, which is kind of what CrossFit has become. It's a sport of fitness. And even for those people who are not super into fitness as far as it being a sport, but they use CrossFit for their health and wellness, still get involved in the open because it's a fun way to challenge themselves. And it's a fun way just for people to see where they're at. Now, with that being said, with us testing these workouts and testing ourselves to see how fit we are going to be pushing ourselves to our absolute limits. Last year I fought through an injury during the open, and I did a workout again even with an injury, a fairly severe one, a back injury that is a genetic thing that I can't control, but I redid a workout again, even though I knew that I might have some pain. I went through it smart and careful, and I slowed down so that I wouldn't have as much pain. I stopped it the first time I did it because of the pain, but I challenged myself to do it again. And I then went through 5 weeks again of pushing myself every week as a new workout was released. That meant some people have said that you are essentially going to be emptying the tank once to twice, maybe 3 times in a week to put everything you've got out on the floor for these workouts. Ben Bergeron told us that you shouldn't be focusing on that. You shouldn't be focusing on fueling those workouts when you empty the tank. He thinks that we should be focusing on getting down to a competitive body fat percentage. Now, here's the issue. What he said is completely true when he's speaking with athletes who are going to be going to the regional level and to the games level, and most of them are not going to have to worry about this. Most of them are already going to be at those body fat percentages, because if you're going to be that competitive, you're going to be at a fairly low body fat. Not everybody. There's going to be games competitors who are not, a female who's not at 16% body fat, and she's still going to make it to the games. And I think that's awesome. However, the issue comes with the fact that Ben Bergeron has a following, a mass following in the CrossFit world because of his aptitude as a coach, because of how great he is, okay? And we all know he is the head behind competitors training. He is the person that most people go to when they're looking for some kind of competitive edge, and he coaches a lot of games athletes. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to training. Now, it is not his position to make statements nutritionally necessarily, even though he probably has a good bit of insight into it. However, he's not a nutritionist. My issue with this, and what many other athletes have had issues with, is that his mass platform that he has is going to affect a lot of people. A lot of people who think that they are competitive enough to be going to regionals or have a run at regionals or at the games. Or some people who just decide, I'm going to do everything that XYZ athlete does, even if it's not programmed specifically for me and it's programmed for them, because I want to be a games athlete too, and they're a games athlete. And that's where the issue lies. No, we cannot control what or how people take social media posts, and that's just something that's part of life. And I think that that's the only thing that we really need to consider with that is Ben Bergeron should know better than to say a statement that even though he's talking to that 1% that will be making regionals in the games, he's still going to be reaching out to hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people in the CrossFit community with this post. And there were plenty of comments on it I saw of people saying, oh, great, this is great information. What should I be eating? How do I do this? How do I reach this body fat percentage? And these things are necessary to do, I think, if you want to be a competitive athlete. However, this is just not the right time. So if you are an everyday athlete, if you're a semi-pro athlete, if you're someone like me who likes to compete, at the local level, or even if you're not competing locally, but you just really enjoy CrossFit and you were gung-ho, all in, balls to the wall, I love CrossFit, and you want to put everything out there for the open, understand that you need to be fueling your body properly during the next 5 weeks. It's not going to be easy. You're going to be burning a whole lot more than you normally are. And a deficit of calories trying to reach a body composition is going to cause you to have a lot of side effects that will affect your performance. We're going to have a lot of negativity in those performance because your body's not going to be properly fueled. You may have a little bit of brain fog. Okay, our mind stops working well when we're not fueled properly. You're going to have way more fatigue, and you're not going to recover well either. And these are just a couple of things that are happening, but so many things can happen when you're in a major deficit of calories. The body fat percentages he's talking about are very difficult to achieve and also be at such a high level of competition. It's just difficult. If you have ever watched bodybuilding competitions or bikini competitions, those are the body fat percentages that those athletes get down to, and they are not functional when they're on stage, and they will admit that to you. Most of them know that they have lost strength at that point and that they are more fatigued because they're at a deficit that's so high that they don't have the energy, that they may actually feel like they might collapse while they are on stage, okay? And that's not everybody. There's a ton of games athletes who are at those body compositions, and most of them probably are. But most of the population cannot sustain that body fat or try to be in that deficit to try to attain that body fat over the next 5 weeks and still perform how they want to perform in the open. So, again, this is my 2 cents, but if you are competing in the open, fuel properly, allow yourself a little bit more, I would say, on the calorie side, even if it's not necessarily all of the best calories, but make sure you're fueling, okay? Take care of your body. Put enough food into your body so that you are able to get through these workouts, that it's not fatiguing you, that your mind isn't feeling foggy, that you're able to do it day after day. Because if you're going to compete on Thursday or Friday and then do it again on Sunday or Monday, that's 2 days of fully emptying the tank a week for 5 weeks. And that's a lot of stress on the body without the extra added deficit in calories, okay, of trying to stress over finding a specific body composition. So be smart, take care of yourself, and if you're really unsure about your body composition, consult a nutritionist or a dietitian, okay? Somebody who is trained in these things and that's their job to take care of you and fuel you efficiently and also keep you healthy. Because those are two things. Those are separate. Fueling your body, keeping it healthy, okay? You cannot also put yourself into a calorie deficit and stay healthy. You can't be in a deficit and fuel your body efficiently for performance, okay? So again, this is just my 2 cents. I think it's something to consider. You don't have to like this video, and if you don't, that's fine, but this is just something that I think should be talked about a little bit more, just because Ben Bergeron is such a big name in the community, and I highly respect him as a coach. I highly respect the things he does with athletes. However, that statement was just not at the appropriate time, and it should not have. It's one of those things that if you have a large social media platform, that you have to be wary of what you're posting because of how people will take it. We would love to say people are smarter than that and people will understand that that maybe isn't directed towards them, but we all know that that's just not the case, because we all want to be the best athletes and we all want to do exactly what the games athletes are doing. So think about it. Consider where you're at right now a positive place, and understand that your body's not going to change a whole lot in the next 5 weeks as far as a body composition without also suffering performance-wise. And if you want to be a CrossFit athlete, I think most of us know that performance is kind of the bigger factor as far as that over aesthetics. So stop worrying about the scale, stop worrying about the body composition numbers. Have a good time over the next 5 weeks. Take care of your body, fuel it, sleep, recover. That's all I gotta say. And good luck in the open, guys.